Our next presenter is Joel Rivas. He is the founder and CEO of Saint City Culinary Foundation, a nonprofit organization whose mission it is to support the sustainability and wellness of men and women in the restaurant and bar industry. Although Joel is native to San Antonio, he has spent time living in Mexico City, Portland, and Minneapolis. When he isn't busy with Saint City, he's happiest spending time with his 4 amazing children or in the kitchen cooking for people he loves. Let's give some love for founder and CEO, Joel Rivas.
Thanks. Right into the mic. Can y'all hear me? We're all stuck here doing it together. All right. How's everyone doing? Good. What's that? I will, I promise. Okay. The weather didn't keep anybody home, did it? All right. Last call. It was a Wednesday night around 9:45. I was already in bed. My phone rang, and on the other end was Mike, a bartender that I'd worked with before. With desperation in his voice, he began the call by explaining to me that he had already tried about 4 people and nobody took his call. And I was the last one on his list. Then he told me that he had fallen off the wagon. He was sick. The local detox facility was full up and couldn't get him in. And he was to the point where he just wanted to end his life and check out. I was his last call. I don't bring this up to project some sort of savior complex, but to give some insight into why I'm so passionate about what I do, how and why I started down this road, and why I spend my days concerned with the sustainability in the food and beverage industry. Not the sustainability of agriculture, but the sustainability of the men and women that prepare and serve the food that we consume. This road began when I was 17 years old working as a dishwasher in Dallas. The tribe dynamic and a schedule that allowed me to sleep till noon was the most appealing. Like others that work in the industry, access to drugs and booze, coupled with no direction and horrible coping skills, led to a battle with substance abuse and depression. 7 months after the death of my mother, and a few weeks before my 21st birthday, I got on a plane to Mexico City to spend a few weeks with my family and get out of a very toxic situation. My intent was to stay there for 2 to 3 weeks, but it turned into 3 years. October 6th of this year, I will celebrate 25 years clean. During my time in Mexico City, I went to NA regularly. I saw a counselor, taught English, worked as a youth minister at a church. I learned how effective meditation was, and traveled by bus to almost every corner of the Mexican interior. In short, I began living, and after 3 years, I came back to the US a different person. The chapters in my life after that point ranged from going to college to starting a family to having a career in healthcare while continuing to do consulting for restaurants and bars on the side. There was always a draw to the industry that never went away. 2016 ended with me walking away from a 14-year career in healthcare and evaluating what I wanted to do with my life. I was 41 and made a resolution that my time and energy would be spent making a difference in people's lives, not just spinning the wheels doing business development for hospitals. Not that there's anything wrong with that. I was just keenly aware that it wasn't my purpose, and I was dead set on finding mine. This photo was taken after a long road trip to Southwest Texas in search of my purpose. Emerson said the purpose of life is not to be happy. It is to be useful, it is to be honorable, to be compassionate, to have it make some difference that you have lived and lived well. This, like all journeys, started with identifying my why. I get the pleasure of calling these 4 incredible humans my kids. They're my true north and my why. There are a lot of things that I'm just okay at, but loving those 4 is what I do best. Establishing a solid why is what gives anchor to purpose. And if you don't know your why, nothing else will take hold. At the beginning of 2017, I turned my sights to the work I'm most passionate about, helping my service industry family. The food and beverage industry is full of people that by nature are givers. So many men and women that make a career serving others rarely take time or have access to fill their cups back up. The family dynamic that is common in the service industry is unlike any other industry. Many times when someone can't afford a meal, their shift meal is the only thing they eat that day. A lot of times when they lose their place to live, it's their coworkers that usually put them up on their couch. They quickly become family. They become a tribe. I began seeing the same things I had always dealt with. The substance abuse issues that ran rampant were almost always coupled with poor mental health care, and I was constantly coming in contact with some amazing men and women that had huge hearts and that truly wanted to gain a foothold but didn't have the resources or know exactly how to take their first step. So San Antonio, we have a problem. 15% of food and beverage industry employees suffer from serious alcohol-related problems. Access to drugs and alcohol, coupled with long hours, high pressure to perform, and jobs that aren't always financially stable, fuel what is an already dangerous fire. And when it comes to mental health, it looks even more bleak. Food and beverage service was the highest area for suicide among working women from 2000 to 2016, and it was number 2 for working men. We hear about high-profile cases, but there are so many others that suffer quietly every day and in every metropolitan city around the United States. And in San Antonio, a city that prides itself on food and culture, this problem is just as large. These men and women service every day, sometimes at food festivals, sometimes it's a coffee shop, and it's always almost done with a smile because, like I said before, they're givers, and at times they give too much. We have become so accustomed to concern ourselves with the sustainability of the food we serve and the food we consume, sustainable agriculture, sustainable farms, but we've lost sight on the sustainability of the humans that are working together to put those dishes and drinks in front of us. But change can and is happening. This is Mike, the guy on the other side of that phone call that Wednesday night. He's now over 3 months sober. He has a supportive and loving girlfriend, spending more quality time with his son, has gotten connected with a local church. In short, thriving and continuing to love those around him. This was taken the morning of January 1st, 2017. This was the morning I started on this journey, 41 years young. It was the morning when I decided that love and passion would be the feet that led me into the future, and the immovable grace of God is what cleared the path for me. Love can change lives, love can change a culture, and love can heal broken pieces. This is Olivia, my youngest daughter. She talks about being a chef one day. But like most kids, that changes from month to month, but one thing I'm certain of, if she does end up working as an executive chef or lawyer or teacher or bartender, that she will always know without a doubt that the world is a better place when she finds her purpose with love leading the way. Thank you so much.
That was wonderful. Thank you so much. So congratulations again, 25 years that you said. That's incredible. And I think, to me, what's really amazing about that is that you have taken that and you've made a very honorable choice of now hoping for that for others. And I think that that's really wonderful. So, I wanted to ask if there's anyone in the audience who has been in a similar situation as your friend, and you have been, or they know somebody who's in a similar situation, what's kind of their first step, do you think, for finding help?
So visiting our website, the name of our program is HEARD. It's one of the programs of Saint City Culinary Foundation. The website is iheardyou.org. Again, it's iheardyou.org, and that'll give the times and places that we have a weekly support group meeting. Right now we have programs in Austin, San Antonio, Houston, launching Dallas and New Orleans this year as well.
That's wonderful. It's so good to know that it's not just local, that you're reaching out beyond local. So for those of us who are outside of the restaurant industry or don't, have a problem with addiction at this time, how can we help what you're doing? How can we help your cause?
Yeah. Spread the word. People in the restaurant and bar industry and the service industry touch so many lives. You probably have a nephew or a cousin or a sister or somebody that does it. Spread the word about what we're doing. Getting people in the doors and helping them is our number one thing that we need. Apart from that, send them to our website, and apart from that, if you can, give. I mean, it just anything. $5 a month, the cost of a margarita for happy hour will help a ton and giving us the ability to help and spread the word and take care of others. So.
Thank you so much, Joel. Give it up again, everybody. Joel Rivas.